My name is Lee Hollingsworth. I really didn't know what to expect when I came here tonight because I've been busy. I'm a Vocational Agriculture Instructor in Kim, Colorado. And my job is teaching these kids in their blue jackets. And so I didn't give as much background as I should have because I've been studying breeding cattle and range plants and things of that nature. But one of the things that you guys brought up tonight was the fact that you said there wasn't enough information on the disturbance of land over a long period of time in Indian Canyon. That was one of the comments you had on the inquiry, on your overhead. Well, I lost my uncle a couple of weeks ago, and we had a family get-together, and we were talking about it. And one of the things that was brought up was his uncle, my great uncle, rode horseback to the gold rush in Alaska. He rode across South Park. For those of you who know where that is, that's between Colorado Springs and Buena Vista. When he rode up to the gold rush, the grass was higher than his horse's belly. In the period of time since he rode across that stretch of land, and when he came back, the land was misused by overgrazing, which I'm glad to say we've learned a lot since back then, and we don't do that anymore. But when he came back across there, South Park is in the condition it is now. I know many of you have been across there. You'd be lucky to have fine grass up past the horse's feet. Those of you who aren't familiar with horses, that's their ankle. Then you look across southeastern Colorado. We've been crisscrossed by pipelines. Look at where those pipelines have gone across. Now I know that a D9 cat doesn't weigh quite as much as one of our M1 Abrams tanks. I mean, you're probably familiar with the difference in weight. You probably work with them all the time, don't you, sir?
I don't know the weight.
Yeah. And you can look where those pipelines went through several years ago, and that land, even though it's been, people have tried to reclaim that land is still not reclaimed. You can still see huge scars in places where there's no vegetation. And the ranchers and the pipeline companies have tried to revegetate that. I don't see the Army going to that extent on Indian Canyon. I've had a lot of success over the years with my range judging teams. They've been in the top of the state for, I don't know, 10 or 15 years in a row now. They've been in the top 5. And I teach my kids how to maintain range, how to build up range, how to preserve it. I grew up north of Colorado Springs. I know a lot of people in the military. My family, my dad and my uncle were in the submarine service. My brother was in the Navy. Sorry, they weren't in the Army. They like to have a warm place to sleep at night. But there's very few people. There were people that came out and wanted to play cowboy on my dad's ranch, and some of them were in the military. They had no idea what it takes to preserve range, And that's sad when you've got a 18 to 22-year-old person running a 50-ton tank across grasslands, and they have no idea of the damage that they're doing and how to mitigate the damage. So I think that this GIS, I have no faith in the Army. They've used their own personnel to develop it, and I have no faith in the outcome of that GIS. And I think it needs to start over. I think we need to follow Judge Maitch's orders, and I think they need to open it up and have more people involved in the GIS that actually know what's going on. Thank you.